Hey, what's going on, guys? This is jbDAuchiha. It's going to be kind of a quicker review. I'm going to try to anyway, but I have a lot to talk about. I am feeling really bad. I have a terrible cold, man. My head hurts so bad. Anyway, this was a great episode, but not for the reasons I expected me to just fangirl over, like the fight between Akame and Kurome. It was not what I expected, and nor was it what I wanted, and I am kind of disappointed in it. But the fight spawned so many awesome things. Like, first off, let me explain why I am slightly disappointed in this fight. Now, I wanted it to just be them two just going at it, no interruptions, no Edo Tensei bullshit, none of that. None of Kurome's friends coming in, but that is how her Imperial Arms works. So I guess, I should have expected that, but I just really wanted it to be sister versus sister, assassination skills versus assassination skills, sword versus sword the entire time, but we didn't get that. But it was nice that the Danger Beast came out of nowhere, and we did get to see them fight together for a second, even though it was literally about a few seconds. And I did enjoy the scene with Wave coming in, because he and one other thing made the episode for me. I'll get into that a little bit later. But just the fact that Wave came there for Kurome, and he obviously has a crush on her, and she said that I wish we could have been closer under different circumstances, meaning that, I like you, and I wish things could have been different also. But around the end, where Wave asks Night Raid, what are we fighting for? Like, Wave is just so indecisive. He doesn't know what's real or what's bullshit anymore. And like around the beginning, even most of the Jaeger members are like, you know what, this isn't right. Like Ran or whatever his name is, the guy that can fly, he says that he's been waiting for this for a while, and Kurome doesn't really give a damn about anything else but Akame. So I am glad they settled the differences, because this has really been overdue for these two sisters. They have been through so much since they've parted, and most of the episode was Kurome telling us what we already knew about how they were raised up to be assassins, and they took off together, and Akame betrayed her, so she believes, or whatever. So that really wasn't that interesting, but the fight was good, but it did disappoint me for the stuff I mentioned earlier. But the main thing that it made this episode for me had to be Akame's scream at the end when she fell into Tatsumi's arms after he said, I will not allow us to lose anything else precious to us. We've lost all that we can't bear anymore. And that scream, man, it was just everything. She did not cry, she did not yell, she didn't do anything during the fight with her sister when they met up and had snacks together, even when she did the finishing blow to her. I mean, that scream, it just let out all of her anger, like all of the frustration, sadness, sorrow, all of her fallen comrades she's had over the years. That scream was just a manifestation of all of those emotions, and whoever her voice actress is just delivered that scream. It was A+, man. It was top notch. But I like how when they were fighting the Danger Beast, and it like slapped one of her friends, she's like, how dare you do that to my homie? I'm like, chick, you killed your homies just so you can have them around all the time. How can you say, how can you do this to your dead friend? Oh yeah, and mine is dead. She's just gone. I mean, man, I hate to keep comparing this to the manga, but read the manga, folks, if you think that this mine thing just happened too fast, because it did. Tatsumi and mine actually have a relationship in the manga, and it's just so sad that as soon as she said I love you, she died in the anime. That's bullshit. I still don't like that, but she did go out like a G though. That fucking Final Flash versus Kamehameha thing, it was awesome, and it always will be. But this episode was basically, besides the Akame and Kurome fight, was like everybody thinking, is this right? Is this wrong? What is right? Even the Emperor himself is like, my subjects are trying to rebel against me. Have I been doing things wrong? And yes, you have, but it's not your fault. It's Honest's fault, and it's just so sad that this little boy is being, not, I wouldn't say forced, but he's being led down the wrong path by this older asshole, and Honest needs to die. And judging by the fucking Gundam-like Imperial Arms at the end and the preview to the next episode, it seems like it's going to be Akame and Tatsumi, maybe even all of Night Raid versus the Emperor. So if that little boy dies, if the Emperor dies, I will fucking scream, because he does not deserve it, man. He's just so young. He is being led down the wrong path by this asshole. He does not know what he's doing, and I mean, I like how he's like, man, this doesn't really feel right. Am I doing this wrong? Like he's starting to get it, but then he gets turned right back around, and then the dude says the emperors need to be cruel sometimes, and etc. etc. Filling his head up with this bullshit, and that just infuriated me. So if he dies and Honest doesn't die next episode, I am going to rage. But this episode was awesome. It was beautiful. It was very symbolic, and like I said, the fight really didn't do it for me how I thought it would. I'm not sure why I expected more, but maybe in the manga it'll go into depth because, I mean, the entire fight was gone in one episode and everything seemed rushed. Like, they fought for a second, Danger Beast came, they fought for a second, Wave and Tatsumi showed up, and then they did their finishing blow, and then that was that. So, I mean, you can tell things are rushed and they're trying to go ahead and end this season. Like, I mean, mine was only mentioned for, like, literally, like, 5 seconds, and this episode, and her death was a really big thing last episode, so I'm not exactly sure how I feel about how this anime is going, but this episode was good. But tell me what you guys thought. This has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.